Here's your heads up to this 5-minute quickie. It's all about reasons, excuses why you still don't do the things that you want. I'll explain a few stories about things that happened in my life and what didn't happen and what did happen to show you those excuses or what you think are reasons are purely excuses. And when you ignore them and do the thing you want to do, awesome things happen. Have a listen.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, how you doing? Paul here, Personal Development Unplugged. Do you remember the last FMQ suggesting, about investing in you and digging the well? Digging the well before you get thirsty? Well, that's maybe been thinking about another reason, another excuse that sometimes we use. I know I've used it. I know that, and I'll give you some examples of how me and my younger son used it and how we got over it. What are you talking about, Cluffy? You always do this. I know I do. Well, it's either the things that stop you doing things are, I'm too old or I'm too young. And both of those are completely BS. Let me tell you a story. Well, quite a few stories, really. True examples from my life. First of all, I'm talking about my younger son, Joseph. At 18, he was a hypnotist, a master hypnotist, and he was working with me in our hypnotherapy clinic. And we kept thinking, and this was our belief, mine as well as his, saying, well, I'm too young. How can I help people? Or what will people perceive of an 18-year-old helping me with big problems? They've got no life experiences. So obviously you've got to look older. So you've got to dress older. Maybe wear a suit. Maybe look something more clinical, And there was one problem with that. He was looking like a young dude dressing older, which was a load of rubbish. Now, the other thing we thought of, well, what would happen if we just charged less? Because obviously, if you haven't got a life experience, because you're not old enough or you're too young, maybe you just have to, charge less. Tell you about that in a minute. Then Joseph decided he would become a trainer. So he went away to America, did all his work, got certified as a NLP trainer, and started training people, doing NLP trainings, practitioner trainings. And again, we thought, who is going to come and train with this young upstart, as it were? Again, no backstory, no life experience. This is where the BS comes in. And it even came down to one of our first overseas trainings where some people were saying, well, actually, we want you both to come along, but we don't think that people will actually take the training as such and hold it in as high regard because of Joseph's age. Because the people who will be coming will be of a certain age. In fact, they're closer to your age, Paul. So therefore, we want you to be the lead trainer. And I'm not a lead trainer. Well, this was Joseph's training. So why would I be a lead trainer? We work together. We have, sometimes I'm leading, and sometimes he's leading. But we don't have someone out of it. And we wouldn't do that. So we still went to that training because by now we've got over this thing about I'm too old, I'm too young. And I'll tell you what happened then, but not yet. So, the 90 seconds of hypnosis tracks. Why have I put hypnosis tracks on a separate website? Well, it's so simple really. I wanted you to have them all in one place so you can look through them all. You can find the particular one you want. I've even made them downloadable so you can put them on any of your playing devices that you prefer. You don't need Wi-Fi, you don't need the iTunes or whatever. You can put them anywhere you like. You can even burn them onto disk if you want. Where do you get them? Well, there you go. I told you it's paulcloughonline.com/podcast. If you're worried about your email address, please don't be, because they stay totally safe with me. I only use them to send you out that email and give you access. Simple as that. I send you a link, a special link, so you and only you can access those hypnosis tracks, because I want them just for you. And the other thing about this is you've taken responsibility. I don't want to make these open to everyone, just random. You have taken responsibility to listen and be part of this community of personal development. And I want to help you. I want to help you personally to get your dreams, your goals, and therefore I'm giving you these tools, these protocols, these paradigms, whatever you want to call them, but in deep hypnosis. So just enjoy. Have more fun than you can stand with hypnosis. And then I thought about what examples have I got in my life where I thought maybe I'm too old. I can't do the two young ones yet, but the old ones. I can remember beginning to learn this thing called hypnosis and literally investing in me. And it was, at that time, it was more money so many years ago than we charge now for a training. So in financial terms, it was huge. And in investment terms, it was huge because I had a family of 3 children. And here I am at this ripe old age, going to go and learn hypnosis for some reason. And I've told you the stories about the reasons. I'm not going to go into that. But I had turmoil going into my head, going into my gut, where, I just didn't feel right. Why should I be doing it for me? Because, I'm too old to do all this stuff. Let's see what happened. You see, at that particular time, by the way, I was in a pretty successful career. Then I thought to myself, something else really current, doing this podcast. Because I just decided one day I wanted to do a podcast. And it was off the wall. I thought of a name and I started talking. And literally, it was just me. Because then I thought to myself, who would want to learn from me? I'm just this UK guy, and I got a bit of experience, but I don't know. So what happened? I'll tell you in a minute. So here's the thing. What did we do? Well, let's go back to that I'm too young as a therapist. Did we dress up? Well, we did. Joseph did start dressing that. And then we said, no, that's rubbish. So we dropped the suit. He dropped the suit and dressed normally, dressed according to his age. And the thing is, the only thing we use, and this is the difference, intention and confidence. We had, and he had, the intention to help people. He knew he had the skills. He wasn't overconfident. He knew he was good at what he did. And that just overcame everything. And he got great results. And to such an extent, he actually went on primetime TV to treat phobias on, well, I think it was 6 phobias in one day live. Whereas there was a co-host was doing some other type of work and it didn't actually work, but he got his results and it just blew people's minds. And from there, he just went on. Same went for the trainings. It was that intention and action, showing what you could do and doing it. And the results just fell out the other end in such a wonderful way. And in fact, because of that, we started working together as one, basically. And that thing about the overseas, well, we ignored other people's beliefs about too young. People would not learn from a young person. They would only learn from an older guy, someone nearer their age. But yet we both set up a rapport with our audience, the people we were teaching, and we had an awesome result. In fact, people at the end of the 4-day course would come and hug us both and say such wonderful things to us. So nothing but intention, confidence in what you can do, knowing what you can do. It just worked. This podcast, I really care that what I'm talking about, I do put my heart and soul in it. However, if it's just you and me, That's cool. I'm cool with that because I enjoy doing what I'm doing, and I've got the intention inside me and the confidence in what I say. And I know, and I've also, when I go back to that thing about learning that hypnosis, I've jumped a bit and I left that out. Me being an older guy, is it too much to start? What is this hypnosis thing? Well, I'll tell you what happened. When I got there, I had loads of turmoil all the way through it, but I came back and I was successful in my business. I got more successful because of the skills I learned. I helped with Joseph set up Cambridge hypnotherapy. We started working with people. Then we started doing the trainings, and it all started from there. I met some awesome people, and I still do. I learned so much, which is what I want to share. And now that little doubt I had, I am so bloody pleased that I didn't stop and go, yeah, you're right, Paul. You're too old. Just be satisfied with what you got. Because this is the thing, whether you think you're too old or you think you're too young, if you believe that, you're right, but you're wrong. Because it's all about intention. It's all about having that internal confidence in what you can do, mastery, knowing what you do and doing what you know, and do it with not overconfidence, but competence. Have confidence in your competence. And my little meta heading of all of this was just do it anyway. Because we've talked about what's the worst that can happen. Well, actually, there is no real worst that can happen other than it didn't go quite the way you planned. But hey, you learned something along the way, and you'll find something else. Another opportunity will come. But if it doesn't, you'll find out that you're bloody good at doing something, or you enjoy it, or it gives you satisfaction. It gives you connections. It gives you, well, I can't go on anymore. There's so much more, because you're never too old. You're never too young. Just learn. Have that mastery. Really understand and hone those skills, and take that little leap. We've talked about, things like what's the worst that can happen? How can I mitigate this? Well, there was no downside in any of these, just doing it. Do it anyway. So if that's an excuse when we've done about digging the well before you're thirsty, what are the things that you've put off because you thought, maybe I'm too old. I'm too old to learn this stuff. Hey, I started learning the guitar a few years ago. I'm absolutely crap at it, but I love doing it. And I go to a guitar group now and again, and I'm certainly not the best. Well, no, I'm struggling to compete with the worst. Not the worst. Not so good at the techniques. Hey, does it matter? Hey, no, who cares? I can join in. Maybe I don't play all the chords, and maybe some of the chords I play are wrong. Does anybody worry about it? Not at all, because you're part of it. So if you think that, I'm too old, I'm too young, just put it aside for a little and say, well, if I really did that, what's the worst that can happen? That, well-formed outcome. Just look at the skills you need. What help do you need? Imagine it, what you want, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, all that. And then, as I said, do it anyway, because you're going to enjoy it. You will. Because if it was in there in the first place, that little bubbling, for me, it's like that. It just keeps buzzing in my head. Yeah, go on. I'd love it. Okay, you've got that inside. We go, well, I'm not sure, but no, I'd love it. Just go and do it. And do it with that positive intention, and with even asking that question, what would it be like if I just had a great time trying? A great time, not trying, doing. What would it be like if I started to learn this and was able to do it confidently with positive intention? Ask those questions. Man, you're starting to, that well is getting deeper and fuller. Hey, that's it. That's it for me. It's another 5-minute quickie that lasted slightly longer than 5 minutes. But I just want to think of any excuse that you have that stops you doing what you're doing or want to do, then throw those excuses out, because that's what they are. They're excuses, not reasons. They're bloody excuses. Think of the smallest thing you can do, that baby step, holding onto the wish fulfilled, and just bloody do it. Hey, until next time, this is Cluffy saying bye-bye. I saluted them, by the way. Not that you could see it, but I did. So I salute you. I'll speak to you real soon. Okay, bye-bye. Hey, I know what you're thinking. I've heard this before, but you haven't heard this one. So, anyway, I know you've only got so much time in the world. Time is precious. And you've only got so much time to share good things with your friends. So maybe the next time you consider sharing something, you can consider sharing this podcast or a podcast of mine, of Personal Development Unplugged, that you enjoyed, and share it with, I'd like you to share it with everyone. You know, the pay it forward. And if you pay it forward and then you ask somebody else to pay it forward, you know, we'll be really creating this community of the Personal Development Unplugged kind. So I'd love you to do that, if you could. If you would like to subscribe to this podcast, you can do it through iTunes, you can do it through Castbox. You can do that. And if you'd love to leave a little review, 5 stars is always good, but the words are really more important. If you do that, takes about, I know people say, oh, it takes seconds, but it doesn't. It takes probably a couple of minutes. If you could do that right now, hey, that would be good. And lastly, all this hypnosis that I do is completely free. You have to go to another website though. Keeps it all nice and clean for you. It's also downloadable, which is the bit I like. I want to give it to you, and so you can put it on any device that you want, and you can listen to it anywhere you want. You don't need to have your Wi-Fi, your internet on. So that's at paulcloughonline.com/podcast. You do have to put an email address in, because I have to send you the link to get it. But I just want to tell you now, for all this data protection stuff and everything that's going on at the moment, I do not share your emails with anyone. No one. Nada. They're just to let me send you the link and send you a few updates of the new hypnosis tracks. And what I'm hoping to do as this community, because that's how you get to become like the official member of the Unplugged Personal Development community, is to send some more personal hypnosis tracks that won't be available or talked about on the podcast. There'll be things of my creation which I just want to give to you. So if you'd like that, go there, paulcloughonline.com/podcast. We'll have some great times. We will. I think that's about it. So enjoy every heartbeat. And please remember, do share. It'd be great. Bye now.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.